there's still a fascination in the modern world with the Middle Ages, and it tends to permeate even modern literature, starting with C.S. Lewis, The Tales of Narnia, Tolkien with The Lord of the Rings, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, or George Martin's Game of Thrones, all of which are still popular today. There are misconceptions about the Middle Ages, which are fairly normal, but even I think in the Middle Ages they had certain misconceptions or their own sort of fantasy worlds, just as we have our own imaginative perfect worlds in Hollywood. What I would hope is that many of the popular culture images that we like would lead people to want to go back and find out more about the actual Middle Ages and their societies. Medieval literature, like a lot of the things that we see, such as Game of Thrones or Harry Potter, it's binary. People are all good or all bad. There's not that much duality of character, static characters rather than dynamic ones. But that still seems to have a large popular appeal in the world of today. One of the big things that we've had a challenge with, particularly in what has traditionally been called Anglo-Saxon studies, is a preemption of the term, and to some extent even ideas and symbols, by extremist groups, particularly white supremacist groups, to the extent that we as medievalists need to be more sensitive to the way historical medieval literature has been traditionally presented. Multiculturalism in the Middle Ages does exist, but it is something that hasn't been significantly investigated and needs to be seen more. The multiculturalism that was a major aspect of medieval literature as well is the communication between the Christian Europe and the Muslim Arabic world, which was usually held in high esteem. I think research can humanize it to some extent, and it still remains magical. You still get to play with old manuscripts and see beautiful pages. It helps to understand history of language, evolution of literature, novels, even stereotypes that we still have today. More in film, I'd say, than in novels, where you have the very bad character facing the very good character. James Bond would easily fit into a medieval narrative. Studying, I think, medieval literature does help us realize common roots to all sorts of modern literature that we have today.